For a long time, I've been trying to understand the appeal, like why so many Magas love Trump. And I think after thinking about it for a long time, I finally discovered it. You hear a lot of people say, well, he's not a politician, and they admire him because he's a billionaire and because he has, wealth and all this stuff. And I think for poor people, Donald Trump is what poor people imagine having money is like. For example, have you ever seen his apartment that he had in Trump Tower? It's so ostentatious with gold toilets and, this Baroque style with like paintings that look like the Sistine Chapel on the ceiling. It's just crazy. And, he married supermodels and does all of these outrageous things. And I think that a lot of poor people, when they look at Donald Trump, they imagine, wow, that's what it's like to be rich. You can do all this crazy stuff. That's why they hate Bill Gates so much, because he's just this nerdy guy who has way more money than Donald Trump, but he doesn't really flaunt it or anything. And a lot of, Jeff Bezos doesn't really do that, and Mark Zuckerberg, they got money, they got nice things, but they don't really flaunt it. They don't show you pictures of gold toilets and flying around New York in a helicopter and, building Mar-a-Lago and all of these things. So I think for a lot of poor people, the reason they admire him is because he lives like they think a rich person should live. He's just so like the archetype, he's like the Monopoly guy without the monocle and the hat. Secondly, you hear him say all the time, he says things that we're thinking. So when I hear people say that, I think a lot of it has to do because of Obama being president. And as a white person, I'm looking at you white people. White people are terrified that they're losing the country. They are so fearful of black people and brown people and Muslims and everything. And down deep inside, being a white person and being raised by the boomer generation, the boomers were freaking racist. My family, my father, my grandfather, they were racist people. They said the N-word all the time. They talked very badly about anybody who wasn't white. And I think for a lot of people my age and older, or maybe a little bit younger, I'm in my 40s, so maybe in the 30s and 20s, that they fear that they're losing the country, and they're so afraid. They want to say racist things. They want to. They want to call people the N-word. They want to call Mexicans wetbacks. They want to do all of these things. But because they're afraid, because they feel like they have no power, they keep their mouth shut. Even though they want to. Now they act like they care. They act like, I care. But really they don't. Behind closed doors, they don't at all. And when Trump came on the scene and he just talked that way and he said things, a lot of white people were like, yeah, he's saying what I can't say because he's powerful. And because when Obama was president, it scared them. So now they're like, now we got this guy that calls Mexicans Mexicans and he calls black people and he freaking separates them. He's a segregationist. And so they like that. It makes them feel good. And another thing that I don't think people really talk about is a lot of these MAGAs and these crazy idiots that support Trump, they always talk about how they're so religious, but I'm going to tell you another little secret about white people. White people, we like to act like we're religious. We're really not. I used to make jokes all the time that when my parents forced me to church, I would look over at my dad and other people I knew in the church that just the night before had been at our house or we'd been at their house getting drunk as hell, doing drugs and all that stuff. But they always stumble into church. They don't believe none of the crap. I remember, when the preacher would come to our house to do their little visitation, my dad would run to the back bedroom and play like he was sleeping or something. They're not really religious. they have like a general concept of God and they understand that, but you know, they do all their infidelities and they have their abortions and they have their, you know, abortions like in states that are the most religious is where they have the most abortions and teen pregnancies. You know, divorce and all that. They don't really care. Drinking and drugs. They don't really care. It's just, you know, they just say, I believe in God. I'm a Christian. Saying I'm a Christian is like saying I like to breathe air when it comes to these people. But the problem is with God is he's invisible. You can't see him. So for a lot of people, they need something tangible to hang on to. And I think men like Donald Trump, because of his wealth and because of his, you know, bombastic attitude and his personality, and because he was on TV, and in America, if you were on TV, you're like God. So I can't see Jesus, I can't see God, but I can see Trump. So I'm going to cling to that. And I think that's where a lot of it comes from, is that they know down deep inside that they don't really believe this stuff, but here's a symbol that we can rally around, and that's Donald Trump. And then one of the other things is just education. Like, you wouldn't believe the different subjects or the different conversations that I've had with people, and I bring up an historical event or a book or something that doesn't have to do with football or getting drunk or screwing babes. And most people, they're like deer in a headlight. They don't know what you're talking about. You know, if you ask most people, you know, name, and you see that all the time on YouTube where people do these videos, people can't name the 3 branches of government. They don't know how many senators there are. They don't know how many Congress people they are. They don't know anything. They know the First Amendment and the Second Amendment, but you ask them anything else about other amendments and they don't know what the hell you're talking about. They don't know what the Bill of Rights is. They don't know anything. And Americans are pretty stupid. And one of the things, in order to control the masses, you have to look at history. That's what the church was great at. You know, you keep the masses stupid and you control them. You know, that's what happened during the Middle Ages. You know, that's why they call it the Dark Ages, because it doesn't reference that it was dark, like there was no sun or nothing. It references that people were uneducated and there was a lot of fear running around and a lot of prejudices. And then you have the Renaissance, which the Enlightenment, where education became important again and science became important. And people were able to dig themselves out and become educated and read and learn from themselves, you know, the printing press and all of that, and people became educated. And that was a great thing. And the problem is, a lot of people, you know, they go on their Facebook page or in their home life around their friends, and they're just like in a bubble. Or like a cave is the way I like it. A cave, and they just scream, and everybody's opinions, which is their same opinions, bounce off the walls and come back to them. It's like they're not learning because they're too afraid, or they will not because of prejudice hear anybody's opinion that's outside their belief system. And, you know, I've listened to people, they can tell me all they want about Trump, and I'll listen to them, but when I point out some bullshit they say, it's just, that's where the fake news is just sticking your fingers in your ears and going la, 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 la. That's an example of saying fake news. So, people like Trump because, number one, he's a symbol they can rally around. He's as dumb as they are. And he says things that they wish they could say. They wish they could be as racist or as vulgar as he is, but they know they can't because they don't have the power or the authority to be able to be that way. Trump can say whatever he wants to because he doesn't have to worry about getting fired or anything. But if you say it or post it online, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, there's a high chance that somebody's going to turn you in and you're going to get in trouble. So that's why they like him, because they think he's powerful. And that's what they want. And white people, being a white person, white people are pussies. That's why we worry so much about guns and we try to rally around the police, because white people are scared. We are freaking pussies. You know, that's why so many white guys, now they'll have a lot of tattoos and a big beard, and that's just intimidation. When you see a person with a lot of tattoos and a big beard, it's like a costume. They put that on and it's their way of saying, hey, I'm tough, when down deep inside they're not really tough. To me, it's like the people that are the loudest with the most tattoos and the biggest beard and all the guns, they're the biggest cowards. But it's that guy that's being quiet and doesn't look like a threat that I worry about. That's why most of your mass shooters and stuff like that are people that they always say, well, he always seemed like a nice guy. Because those are the people that are the most dangerous. The big loud guy with tattoos and big beard and guns, they're pussies. And then the other thing that I want to talk about is why so many of these people that are Magas or QAnons that follow Trump also are worried about pedophilia. And I think this is really interesting because it falls in the same category as the same people that hate gay people, which kind of overlap with the QAnon and Magas and the people that support Trump. Have you noticed that the loudest voices that yell hate towards homosexuals, you end up finding out later that they were gay? You know, there's been preachers that have yelled at homosexuals and you find out they're gay. Politicians that's yelled at homosexuals and you find out they're gay. You know, it's this self-hate. And when it comes to the pedophile thing, I think this is self-hate too. I think a lot of these Magas and QAnons, down deep inside, in places they don't want to talk about, are pedophiles. They really are. And they are angry at themselves for feeling this way. You know, they say to themselves, why am I attracted to little kids? And because they know it's wrong, but it's something that they can't help. It's a mental disorder that they can't help. It's this urge that they can't fight. And it's easy to hate something because it really reflects your own inner self-hating, self-loathing. So people, to me, when I see somebody screaming the most about pedophilia, I'm thinking, they got problems. They're attracted to children. Just like when I see somebody screaming the loudest about hating homosexuals, I'm like, they're probably gay, or they probably had a gay thing happen to them and they liked it, but then now they're self-loathing and they're confused and they can't explain it. It's always projection. You project out the problems that you have inside. Like, I'm a nurse and I worked in psych for years, and that's the thing that you always noticed. People that hated stuff, like women that hated rape, hated it so much that just would go insane over it, is because they were raped. People that hated pedophilia is because they were molested or they had some attraction and they didn't want to be thought of as like subhuman, because everybody knows that it's wrong to hurt a kid, but it's something they can't help. It's like a mental disorder. You know, people that scream they hate gays, and then you find out in their past that they had some homosexual tendencies and some gay tendencies, and they may have experimented a little bit, and now they self-loathing, and it's just this guilt and everything. And that's where religion also comes in, because religion likes to pile on that guilt and that self-loathing. And I think that's where a lot of these people come from. So I really believe this is why a lot of the people follow Trump, because a lot of it has to do with idol worship and then self-hate that then they can project onto other groups, and it makes them feel better. So it's just my opinion. This is David. It's always this. Make sure you like and subscribe. Bye.